Okay. She's talking about Cody, of course. She says that she knows he talks about Danny and Nicole a lot, but Cody's in the middle of that too. So she's got to take a shot there. He says, for sure, yo, that's it. They agree that, look, you and HOH, you do what you want to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I win HOH, I do what I want to do. So he reiterates that, though, that those two girls, yo, they're good with everyone, yo. That's it. He says that they are sitting very pretty. So don't take your eye off of Danny and Nicole. He says, Christmas in Memphis, they're also with Nicole and Danny. For sure, yo. That's it. Enzo says, and listen, that stuff Tyler was saying about Danny, yo, that was true, yo. She was talking mad shit, yo. That's it. Bay says that Tyler was, she says, yeah, but Tyler was planting seeds with both sides. And Day says that Day says, listen to this, says Day. Last night, Danny sneakily went off to the kitchen. A little bit later, Ian sneakily goes off to the kitchen. A little bit later, Tyler secretly goes off to the kitchen. I see what they're doing. I see their secret little meeting there. I know exactly what's going on. That's why I brought it up earlier, because it's a little bit funny, right? So this is just what they do in the house all the time. Anyway, so Bay says that Danny told her that Tyler was her #1 objective. Remember, Danny, very careful about who she lets know she's going after Tyler. She's only told Nicole, and I guess also maybe Bailey here, because Bailey says Danny told her that Tyler was her #1 objective. Enzo though says, I don't believe it, yo. And they agree. It's fake. She's not really gunning for Tyler. She's just trying to play it. Day says if she wins, she's breaking that up. She's not coming after Cody immediately because he's going through some stuff, but he's got to go too. Day says that nobody's. Here's the thing though, nobody's gonna give Cody the money at the end, because they talk about like who would Cody choose to take to the end, and they feel like he'll take Nicole. No, he'll take Danny. Day says nobody's gonna give him the money. Nobody likes how he's playing the game. He's making too many alliances. Okay, I guess so. Day says that she says to Enzo, look, I'm tight with Kevin, but the real stuff is that you're all I got, Enzo. You're all I got. So Bailey leaves. Enzo says, look, yo, it's me, you, Kevin, David. That's it. Nobody else. We got nobody else. You can't trust those girls, yo. She says that if she wins, she wants to put up Tyler and Christmas. And then if one of them come down, she might throw up Danny. Enzo says, all right, yeah, that works, yo. He says he would do Danny and Nicole, and if one of them comes down, he'd throw up Ian. Day says that, again, he's all she's got left in the game, and she says, I will take you to the end in the final 3, Enzo. That's what I can promise you. And he's like, yeah, yo, I will never put you up, yo. And she says, same, absolutely, I got you. He's like, you just gotta win some comps, yo, that's it. So, not quite a final 2, but they're very, very strongly agreeing to work together here. Enzo talking about going after Danny and Nicole very openly with Day, which is a bit risky here. But he's working very hard to try to prevent her from linking up with Danny and Nicole. Again, he's trying to pull Day over to his side. A little bit later in the day, we're gonna get Nicole pulling in the opposite direction. I still don't know which side is going to win, to be honest. I can tell you that I don't think Day is trying to win the HOH. So, because I think she feels covered. But we do get a conversation between Nicole and Ian. They confirm that they want Day to stay. He asks her, look, Nicole, if I win HOH, will you tell me who to nominate? She's, what? Will you tell me what to do if I win HOH? She's like, I'll give input. You know, I'll be fine with whatever you want to do, Ian. But you know, I'll help. It's like I would want input. That's all. I feel like I need to win. I feel like I need to win. The day before, he was told by David that people think he's throwing competitions. He's really starting to feel like he needs to start winning things. Feels like he wants to win this one. Now, what he would do with this HOH, I still can't say for sure. But he wants to win it, I think. Bay and Day have a conversation. Bay, after her conversation with Enzo, both of their conversations with Enzo, they definitely feel like it's a done deal. Bay is gonna go home. She says, my only hope would be to go to Tyler, and I'm just not willing to put myself in a position to look like a fool again. I'm just not gonna do it. So that's it. I'm gonna be going home. So Day then goes and talks to Tyler. She says, look, my heart is heavy for the situation with you and Bay. It is eating at me, and I need to know that I need you to know that she wants to make it right with you. She just doesn't know if you believe that she wants to make it right with you. And he says, I want to believe it. I thought that she was. I think that she is. I want to believe it. I feel like I've done everything I could. I wanted to leave the house so that she could stay, and I feel like it wasn't enough. And she says that, well, like, did you have a change of heart? Because the way it looked, we were just like, what happened? And he says, well, it was Christmas's decision, and she didn't want to do it. I still feel the same way, but Christmas said no. And he says, look, I've wanted to be good with her for 2 years, and I feel like it's just not happening. Now we know from the episode what happened, right? Now that Tyler was told by Christmas that Bay wants his head on a platter, and he kind of felt like he reached out a hand and it was slapped down, and so that's why I think he's saying these things like, oh, I tried, I keep trying, it's not happening, and so Bay says that, Day says that she wants him to talk to Bay, and that she wants them to have that conversation. So in the meantime, Christmas and Memphis are gonna talk a bit. They bond over what it's like to be injured in the Big Brother house. They talk a little bit about who they would target. They talk a little bit about a possible double eviction and what the strategy would be. Christmas is very set on. She's still in Paul break the game mode, where, okay, this is what we do in a double eviction. There are rules. The first person you put up is your target. The second person you put up is your backup target if the first one wins veto. The third person you put up if somebody comes down is just a pawn, not going home. That's, if you're not able to communicate with your alliance, that's the strategy. So they talk about that a little bit. They talk about Ian, they talk about some other things. Their relationship is continuing to develop. Memphis is talking more and more with people in general, but Christmas is one of the people he talks to the most. So after the conversation with Tyler, Day goes and talks to Bay, and she explains that, look, and this was interesting because this was before the episode. She says, when I talked to Christmas, I told her that you wanted Tyler's head on a platter. I did it because I thought that I didn't realize how tight Christmas and Tyler were, and I didn't think that she would say anything to Tyler. I thought that it was gonna, I said it for her benefit, but I think that she may have relayed that to Tyler, and I think that's why he hesitated, and that's why it didn't happen, this whole thing. I got that sense when I talked to him just now, that he was feeling very guilty and that he was feeling like he wanted to do this, but now he feels like the offer was rejected, and I feel like it might have been what I said. I feel kind of responsible for this. So I went to Tyler and I told him that you love him, and I know you wanted to stay away from the loving him stuff, but I just can't have it on my conscience that I might have been the cause of this relationship deteriorating again. She says, when I talked to Tyler, I told him about what I'm telling you, and she might have. There were lots of cuts in that conversation, and it seemed to have an impact. His face got red, like he might have realized that he made a mistake because of this miscommunication. And she says, "I know this might hurt my game, but I'm just tired of you minimizing what you sacrificed to be here, Bailey. So you talk to him and you campaign and you fight, because you know, I can't be the cause of this. So and you know what too, Bailey, you're not gonna like this." Bailey's like, "Oh, screw you." So you're not gonna like this. You've also got to talk to Christmas. She's like, "Oh." It's like, you have to. You have to. She's telling people to vote for me, so you've got to talk to Christmas. She's giving her campaign advice. She knows that it's not good for her game, but she feels like she screwed this up, and she feels guilty, and she doesn't want to let Bailey give it up for her. So that was their conversation there. Cody talks to Danny, and Danny talks to him about her ideal final five, meaning the final six that she talked about minus Memphis. She says final five would be core four plus Davon. That would be her ideal final five for Danny. Cody says, okay. I mean, yeah, that's an easy transition to the final four, but you know, I can't even picture that right now. I can't even. It's so far away. I can't even picture it. He's not into this. He doesn't love this final five. But he keeps going back and forth about targeting Ian. He's like, I keep going back and forth. I keep thinking, like, this kid's dangerous, but like, is he coming after us? I don't think so. And Danny's like, no, he is dangerous. He is coming for us. You cannot trust him. This is what he did in his season. He will take pleasure betraying us. He has been throwing competitions. He's going to start winning soon. We need to take him out soon. Cody is like, I don't know, maybe. Bay is going to go and talk to Tyler after being prompted by Day. And they have a conversation. Bailey says, look, we've just gone in circles, and when I was told stuff by Danny, I felt like I was done. I was done with this, and I feel done with this. There's nothing more that we can say here. And Tyler says, I agree. When we're in this game, we can't trust each other 100%. When we're talking, so it's just gonna have to be outside of this house, because we keep trying, and then we keep not trusting each other, which makes us not want to try, and it's never gonna work until we're outside. But just I don't even want to get into it, but just so you know, Danny was probably just trying to cover herself. She probably was lying about some things. And she says, yeah, I just want to go home, and maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. And he says, you will be. There will be receipts, Bae. There will be negative receipts, and there will be positive ones. And yes, I fed into some things that people would expect from me in our relationship. That's what we talked about early in the game, that we would pretend to still have beef from our original season. But I promise you, every time that happened, I told you about the people that were doing it, and I told you about the people that were coming for you. I was being honest with you. He says that, you know. So what do you want me to do with the vote here? Because you told me before that you wanted me to vote for Day to stay, and she says I do want you to keep Day. It's pointless anyway. There's no use in just having one vote for me. Whatever. The votes aren't there. It's just not gonna happen. So just vote for Day to stay. She says he says, well, where do you think the votes are? She says, well, Day has Danny and Nicole for sure. She's got Ian. Memphis is with Christmas. And Cody will vote with the girls, so that right away, it's this there. That's where it is. The votes just aren't there for me. They go on to talk about their life outside the house and the things that they've gone through, and they talk about trying to squash things on the outside once everything is over. So they're doing their best. You can tell, or at least I could tell, Bae is like, neither of them are fully in this conversation. Bae, you could read Bae when it's what Tyler talked about. When she's being overly friendly, she's being fake. She's not into this. And you can read Tyler. That Tyler is, he's kind of doing his he's doing his. I don't know what I would call it, overly taking responsibility thing. Does that make sense? But I do think they both want it to be over, is the main thing here. That's the genuine part of this. They both want this to just be done with, and the problem is that they neither of them trust the other one to leave it alone. So I hope that they can both get what they want outside of the house. I don't know if they will, but they're trying here. Day talks to the cameras. She says, look, I was genuine in my conversation with Bailey. I don't want anything I said to have sent Bailey home or to have ruined her relationship. So I just had to have that conversation with Tyler. She says, now I'm about to go talk to Nicole, and this is about to be either really good for my game or really bad for my game. I don't know which it's gonna be. So she says that she goes to Nicole, or they come up to the have not room. Nicole says that she told Christmas to apologize because she doesn't want them coming after each other, but they don't trust Christmas anymore. They're not going to be working with Christmas. They just want to like calm that down and move away from Christmas. It's no good. Day talks about how Day says, look, this is where I think the alliances stand, right? Now feed's cut for this, but Nicole is gonna relay what Day said to Cody later, so we know what Day said. Day says, or at least we know what Nicole said, Day said, but I have no reason to not believe her. Day says, this is where I see the house and where it stands. I think you, Ian, Cody, Danny, and Tyler are working together. And I want in. I want to be a part of it. And Nicole says, there are people in that group that you just mentioned that I don't really trust. It's not really like a full thing here. So, look, what I would want is you, me, and Danny to form something. And maybe bring in like one guy. Because look, we're not great at competitions. We need a little bit of competitions. Maybe one guy, and if his name rhymed with, Toady, then that might work out for us. She's obviously referring to Cody. But Day is like, okay, that's great. Nicole says the three of us should be in the final three together. How amazing would that be? Me, you, and Danny in the final three together. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? They also talk about how Christmas. I think Christmas is working with Tyler. Nicole says, I absolutely think Christmas. I've not said this to anybody, but I have noticed some things. I've noticed some things about Christmas and Tyler. Some little things here and there. Just the way that they talk to each other. Who she decided to like give her extra drinks to. The way that she talks about him. I think there's something there, says Nicole. Plus, Tyler, he likes strong females. He worked with Casey. It would be very smart for them to link up in that way. I think there's something there. Detective Nicole back on the case. So there it is. Like I said, Enzo trying to pull Day in one direction, Nicole now pulling pretty strongly in another direction. I don't think that Day is gonna pick a side here quite yet. I think, like I said, that she feels kind of comfortable not winning because she feels kind of covered on both sides and she doesn't know exactly which direction she wants to go. But I think she likes and trusts both Nicole and Enzo. So could be interesting to see where this goes. So Nicole is going to briefly talk to Christmas after this, and they talk about like getting the four women back together because now Christmas is, getting back into things and all of that. But this is all fake. Danny is going to then talk to Day briefly in the storage room, and she says, "Hey, Day, I just thought of something. You remember that David thing?" Day's like, "Don't even." She's like, "The David thing? It was Tyler. It was all Tyler, 100%. Tyler told David that you were campaigning against him. That's what happened. It wasn't Cody at all. Cody had nothing to do with it at all, ever, in any way. It was all Tyler. And Day's like, are you messing with me? Like, why are you telling me this now?" She's like, "I just realized it today. I just was thinking about it. I was talking to Cody and I just like, it was definitely Tyler." And she's like, "How do you know that?" I just know it was definitely Tyler." And Day's like, "I believe it. Thank you for telling me." I don't know if she believes it. I tried to catch her talking about this later, but she didn't end up talking about it later, at least not that I saw. So, not entirely sure what will come of this, but this was very, you've got Enzo on one side, pulling. You've got Nicole on the other side pulling, and then you've got Danny who's just like, hey, Day, over here! Just so much sloppier than the other two. So anyway, Danny is gonna go and talk to Nicole. She says that because she has a conversation with, like I said, she had that conversation with Cody earlier, and she says to Nicole, hey, Nicole, I was talking to Cody earlier, and I got his head spinning about Tyler. I did so well, I'm on the way to convincing him. Nicole's like, okay, great. Well, I talked to Day, and they want to get this, 4-girl band back together. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna keep Christmas on the outskirts, but we're gonna try and make this thing work again for fakely. Nicole says that oh yeah, and Ian told me that he wants me to tell him what to do when he wins HOH. And Danny's like, well, are you serious? That is so sketchy. That is like the sketchiest thing that he could say. That's a blatant lie. Nicole is concerned that Bailey is going to blow up their alliance with Ian in her eviction speech because Ian told Bailey about the alliance. And Danny says, no. She's going to blow up Christmas and Tyler. And Danny says, I think tomorrow could be very frightening. Danny talks about how they need to break up. Here's the thing. We need to break up Kevin, David, and Day, she says. That they need to be broken up. Danny's back in action here with Danny being Danny here. Bay's going to talk to Christmas. Christmas is going to apologize. She says, I'm sorry. I put you up. Sorry about what happened. I did not mean to do these things. They squash it. Everything's fine. Day's gonna talk to Christmas, and Day says, "Hey, look, it's not a coincidence that the four of us are gonna be the four that started together. Think about it." Christmas agrees. She apologizes again. And she says that, look, I apologize to Bay. Bay apologized to me. I was like, did I hear Bay apologize to you? I don't think I did. But okay. And she says, Day, if you won HOH, am I okay? And Day's like, yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it. So, Nicole's gonna go talk to Cody, and she's a little bit upset. She wishes that she could comfort him more with what happened with his grandpa, but they're trying to be distant, and so she can't, and she feels bad, and she wants him to know that she cares, and that she's there to support him, and she gets emotional about it, and Cody says, no, believe me, I get it. I went through the exact same thing with Derek on our season because this was happening to him, and we were trying to stay distant. So I completely get it. They